Ms. Hill, please call the regular meeting to order. Ms. Hill, please call the roll.
Mrs. Cahoon.
Here.
Ms. Hammond.
Here.
Dr. McFadden. Mr. Rickman.
Here.
Mr. Shepard.
Here.
Mrs. Walker. Mrs. Walker.
Here. Quorum has been established. Next item on the agenda, Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to item 4, the approval of the agenda. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Cahoon,
Support.
second by Ms. Hammond. Any questions or comments on the motion on the floor to approve the agenda? Hearing or seeing none, please call the roll.
Mrs. Cahoon.
Yes.
Ms. Hammond.
Yes.
Mr. Rickman.
Yes.
Mr. Shepard. Mr. Walker.
Yes, motion passes. Move on to item 5, citizens' comments. At this time, we ask you have citizens' comments, that you come up to the lectern, state your name, address, abide by a 3-minute rule, and address all questions and comments to the chair. If you would like a response to your question or comment, please give it to Ms. L in the back, and we will get a response to you within 72 hours. The floor is now open for citizens' comments.
Two citizen there.
Good evening. My name is Michael Fringer, and I'm here tonight as the proud president of Mount Clemens Education Association, our local union. And I wanted to say thank you, Mr. Roper. I wanted to say thank you on behalf of the people that are here tonight and on behalf of all of our membership for a successful negotiation. I wanted to thank you for your integrity. I wanted to thank you for your honesty and your candor. And I also wanted to thank the people that are next to me, including Ms. Dawes, Mr. Kamsa, Ms. McNamara came through for us kind of when we were in a pinch. I also wanted to say thank you to Ms. Holliday. And am I missing anybody, Mr. Roper? Dr. Lewis. From my perspective, this was my first rodeo negotiating, and I wasn't quite sure what to expect. But at the conclusion, I'm happy with the way things turned out. Our membership is clearly happy with the way things turned out, and I appreciate what you have given. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. The floor is still open for citizens' comments. Second call, the floor is still open for citizens' comments. Hearing or seeing none, moving on to item 6, presentation from Partners in Architecture. Mr. Cole.
Thank you. Good evening, board, community, and staff that are here. Mr. Finger, thank you for those kind words. We had a great collaborative effort. It was, as a superintendent, that was my first time in that capacity as well, and I think we learned a lot, grew a lot, and as a team and a district family, gotten closer and closer to our goal of taking care of our people. So I appreciate it, you and your team as well. I have Partners in Architecture are here. For those of you that may not have been at our previous meetings, we, last 2 years now, it'll be 2 years and 2 Mays ago, right? A May ago, we went out for a bond that was not successful. Well, we have a lot of needs for our facilities, and from everything from upgrades to downsizing or right-sizing our campuses and facilities, and based off our enrollment and our projected enrollment. And so one of the things I've been tasked with is, and my charge is to make sure that we are as efficient as possible with our facilities. And so we are entertaining the possibility of going back out for a new bond in May of 2027. We heard the community, we got the feedback from the community, and the community there was a number of things with that bond initiative that they wanted to have input on or see differently. And a couple of those things were the financial side, in which we had a presentation from PFM previously that shows the potential for a bond initiative that was half of what we asked for the first time. And then that aligns with the plan, the blueprint that I've asked Partners in Architecture from our Mount Clemens-based firm to come up with a blueprint of a scaled-back version of a bond plan. So they've put together a updated version that will hopefully make us more efficient and valuable to this community. So they're going to do a presentation, an overview of it, and then at a later date, we'll be going to the board, or be coming back to you all to ask for your approval to initiate a new bond proposal and go out for that. So I'll turn it over to Mr. Malone and Darren.
Awesome, thank you. Well, thanks for having us again. We really enjoy, we're partnering with the district here. We're right down the street, so it's very exciting and close to our hearts. Darren and I have an updated presentation since the last time you've seen it. Our charge was to reduce the overall cost and still give us everything we want, so which is quite challenging, but I think we have a workable plan, and we're able to deliver this hopefully for just under 50 million is what was our target. So, and I think that aligns with what PFM had shared with you and the board. So we have some slides, some handouts of the plans. We'd like to walk you through those, and just very high level. And then I have a cost breakdown, which is still in draft form, but I feel pretty good about the numbers that we have so far. Thank you. You have a clicker, or?
We got Miss L. She'll be the clicker.
Perfect. All right, you want to start with this here?
Yeah. So in a little background. So again, as a part of our architecture team, we've also got mechanical, electrical, plumbing engineers, civil engineers we're collaborating with. They've all walked the buildings. So the list in the proposal here still addresses the major infrastructure needs that the district has, consolidates some uses, brings together the middle school students and the high school students in a better way, allows them to utilize the facility such that security keeps them separate. They have their own areas where they're not going to circulate together. And at the same time, we create some common spaces that allow them to share spaces. So we've had to do that because of the reduced cost of the bond, right? So we're in the initial proposal. In the last bond, we were building an addition onto the south end of the building, especially for the middle school, but in this new concept, we've got separate middle school areas and high school areas, and we're still proposing to reduce the footprint significantly from what you currently have. So going forward, it's not only more efficient on day one, but it's more efficient from a utilization and an operational standpoint going forward. It's less costly to operate because your footprint's smaller, but you're more efficient, and it's reconfigured in a way that addresses the parents and the community's needs with the middle school and the high school students. So you can see here with this diagram, that's obviously the existing secondary complex in the field. We're still working on exactly how the site's going to be configured, but generally this diagram shows that it's a very large facility with the 1920s building, which is the historic one, 3 stories tall. You got 161,000 square feet. This 1960s addition, which is the eastern portion that's closest to Cass, is another 142 square feet, and then the pool/gym addition off to the south is another 38,000 square feet. So you'll see in the bond list that Mike's going to share later, there are improvements to the athletic field, new turf, new lighting, improvements to the storage building and the restroom building, and then some other minor upgrades. The track is planned to happen before the bond, regardless of whether the bond passes. We're going to go out for bid this year on that, but the field would follow as a part of the bond. So that's generally the site. There's some paving improvements and replacements, some new sidewalks where the sidewalks have failed. We'll reconnect the parking area to Cass and create a new curb cut along Cass so that there's another way to get into the facility so you just don't have to access it off Gratiot. So that's generally what's happening with the site. So if you can click to the next slide, Michelle. So we'll try to walk you through this. So that green area at the bottom, that's the existing gym. There's a little bit of work proposed there, but for the most part, that's going to stay and be shared for use by all the students in the facility. What you see in the upper portion there, it's got the kind of the cyan bluish colored areas. That's the kind of ground level. Those will be administrative spaces for the district and some for the school, but generally for the overall district, superintendent's office, assistant superintendent's, finance director, human resources, and so on. That darkish green portion to the west or to the left, that's the boiler plant. It's really, we wanted to keep that because that's powering the entire facility, providing heating and or cooling. The lighter green area is off to the right. That's essentially the ground level of what's going to be the middle school facilities. So we've got main office, they've got their own entryway, but you can see that kind of outline silhouette shape. That's the portion of the building that's going to be demolished. It's not needed, it's extra space. And while it's the newer portion of the building, it's still the most efficient part to take down and only utilize a portion of what's left. So those light green areas are going to be in that 1960s edition. We're just going to lop off that eastern portion of it.
So if you remember previously, we were tearing the entire 1960s portion down, and we were adding a new middle school to the south end of where the gym was. So yeah, it's right here. So we, evaluated this again. How could we do this for less? Well, here's an approach. We can keep a portion of this building, which pretty much where we're standing and I think across the hall would remain. The rest of it would come down, which is about 95,000 square feet of space we're going to remove, and you don't need it. So obviously we have to construct a new exterior wall, improve the facade, so it looks appropriate. But the middle school will pretty much be right over here, two stories, have their own entrance, their own office, all that great stuff. The planetarium is scheduled to remain. We know that's something you want to keep. It's very unique for the community. Adjacent to that, we would build a small addition for high school offices and so forth, and their entrance, which is in the dark blue there.
And so on the west side, there's an entrance that's currently used to access the health clinic. So the health clinic would still stay. It would be relocated to a new location, but that entry point would still remain the same. That would then also be the entry point for those visiting the administration areas. The yellow spaces are common spaces, and we'll get into those. If you can flip to the next slide, Ms. L. So again, that kind of that big light green or turquoise space in the middle, that's underneath the auditorium. That's really can't be utilized for anything besides storage. We're going to surround it with administrative spaces, which are those cyan spaces. They will all have then access to courtyard windows or outside windows, so we'll get natural light in for that use. There's an alumni area. The purplish area is the new clinic. And then I think the other spaces are support spaces like storage, files, and other type of spaces. But what you can again see here is kind of in the bottom, there's that red arrow. That's the high school entry. So students there, after bell visitors are going to come there. The other red arrow is the entryway you came in just now for this meeting. We're going to create a secure vestibule there, and that'll be the secure entrance for the middle school, parents, students, and staff. And then there'll be a main office just adjacent to it, directly next to where that new secure vestibule will be. That orange area is the planetarium, just so you can get your bearings. So if middle school students need to access the gym, music, culinary arts, those types of spaces, they're going to come down that hall past the planetarium, make a hard left, and go south to access those spaces. So the goal would be to have that happen, obviously, in alternate times from when the high school students are utilizing that. So, next slide, please. Again, those yellow spaces, like I said, that's the new kitchen, because with the tear down, the cafeteria and the kitchen are coming down. So that's the new cafeteria and kitchen area. The culinary arts kitchen's gonna be adjacent to that because that just makes sense. And then there's still that hallway access to the gymnasium, which will be utilized by all students in the school.
So the yellow area is your current pool. We're obviously filling that in, renovating that whole space for shared use. There's maker space in there, some student commons area, and band and choir as well. The gymnasium, we'd replace the bleachers. We know those are poor, and they'd get some facelift things within the locker rooms in the gym as well.
I think the district is actually working on the bleachers right now, so,
That'll be happening for the
Perfect.
next school year.
yeah,
All right, well, we can pull that out then.
yeah. Next slide, please. So as you go on to the second level again, so we're, on the left side of this screen is the old portion of the building. So that's gonna be high school classrooms. You've got that yellowish color in the middle, that's the auditorium space. You've got an open kind of courtyard area to bring natural light in. The southern portion or bottom portion of that would be kind of a vocational type maker space, robotics lab, all types of different possible uses for that. We got to nail all those down, but those are large classroom spaces that are perfect for flexible labs and other multi-purpose learning environments. Then the smaller classrooms that surround the auditorium are going to be for your general education, potentially science, math, English, English as a second language, and so on and so forth.
And the crosshatch one down there in the corner, the bottom right corner, that's actually undefined, so it's future growth space for whatever program you could potentially put in there or grow into, and there's plenty of space on the third floor as well for some of that expansion.
So the proposal is the middle school is going to utilize 3 levels or?
Two levels on this side, this floor and right above us on this portion of the building.
Yeah, so if it's kind of cut off there, but on the right portion of the screen, those green spaces are classrooms for the middle schoolers. The darker green ones are support areas, bathrooms, storage and such, some offices, staff restrooms. The yellowish areas, again, are existing areas. I think there's a broadcast room in there, so we're not touching that. They would continue to be utilized. And then you can see
Is the
there's.
small auditorium part of what's being torn down? That's on the second floor up
It would be, yeah. So really, the point by which it would come down is this column line right here. Anything this side of that column line would come down both floors. So that large group instruction or small auditorium is right above us, just on the other side of that set of columns. So it's significant, you know, but it really makes the building more efficient, still allows us to keep the students separate by grades, and still allows us, the district, to have future growth as the student population continues to grow.
One of the, as a lot of you know, some of the feedback that was consistent from the community was the thought of, with all the space that we have, the thought of adding a building new space, right? So
Right.
we got back to the table, how can we be as efficient as possible with what we have? And that's how we got to, the community's not gonna support building a brand new middle school. We got 2 basically campuses that are empty here, and that was a lot of the feedback. So how can we maximize what we have and minimize the footprint, but still have a little room to grow? So I charged them with that task of, we have to have middle and high school separate. That was, community wants that, right? You gotta have the 2 age groups separated. And this is a way to do that, and still in both places have the capacity to expand and grow a little bit at the same time. So,
Yeah, and it's not only that it's $3 to $5 a square foot just to operate the facility on an annual basis, but then there's improvements that would have to be made that the district would have to spend money on to upgrade the mechanical systems, the electrical systems, the lighting throughout the next 10 years. So if you were to keep that, we would need additional funds to make sure that you don't have mechanical systems that are going down and you have to repair, so that those would be upgraded as a part of the bond. So it's really kind of, again, making the district more efficient to operate in the future.
Is there room for sufficient lockers on the middle school side? It looks kind of small to me.
We can double check that, but I'm pretty sure, what's your current enrollment of the middle school right now, if you had to guess? I'm sorry.
300 maybe.
240.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have plenty of room.
I'm sure we could find space.
Because
for
most of the lockers are down that way
Right.
and over
Yeah.
that way. There aren't any lockers here, so.
We'll do a layout and make sure, otherwise we'll create a locker alcove and, you know, we have extra space, so I think we can make it work for sure. And it's kind of a nice break, you know, you have middle school on this side, the high school way over there, they can kind of have their own identity, really, and feel separate because they are, you know.
So visually, everything, that column that way is gone. Not the audience, but in the future, the building is gone. And this is going to be the middle school.
Yes,
High school is gonna be in the
old building.
old building.
Yep. Yeah.
How many floors usage for the high school?
Well, it's 3 floors. It's 3 floors
Projected
because
three floor usage for the high school.
yeah, the first floor is really the administrative spaces, and there's really not a ton of usable space there because of the bottom of the auditorium is storage, but yeah.
And the gymnasium would be shared, right? The middle school would have to go over to the gym.
Yeah, yeah. That's one of the drawbacks, but we only have so many dollars to work with, so. And same thing with some of the vocational tech spaces, you know, those areas, if there's some overlap. But I think you could designate some for middle school and some for high school. You have enough space. Yeah.
What's happening with the gym upstairs? Is that,
That gets converted into some CTE programs, or we could leave it open, but we figured it's nice volume, we can create 2 large, could be robotics, could be all kinds of things there. But we're showing them as, we're calling the vocational technical classrooms right now. 2 of them at 3,100 square feet each. It's pretty large.
And
Yeah,
then
it's-
there's
it-
one shared cafeteria.
Yes. Yeah, one central kitchen. We have to plan the lunches, obviously, around, you know,
Yeah, that,
age groups.
I mean, if we have a community that's somehow concerned about using 2 entrances, but they don't mind kids sharing cafeterias and gyms, I mean, the lunch schedule would be what, 3-4 hours, or?
we do it now? Yeah.
Oh, you do it now, okay.
So it's fine. They don't have it at the same time. So we're doing that now.
So, and there's opportunities, you know, this is one approach to show that we can meet your programmatic needs. We can create some CTE classroom spaces, some flexible classroom spaces. If it's deemed that, boy, it'd be great to keep that gym and kind of repurpose it as a large kind of motor skills type classroom or something else, we could certainly look at that, right?
You're talking about the second floor gym?
The second floor gym, yeah. So maybe it's, you know, we need a small or large group instruction room, and that would be a better space for that. We can certainly do that. So this is not set in stone. This is you know, there's a sense that we need to renovate that space, so we're gonna make sure there's dollars to do that. So exactly how it gets renovated, that's certainly conversations that we're gonna have. It's not set in stone by any means, so.
Yeah, it's a good point. This is a high level view,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of detailed pieces that we have influence over and on as we go throughout the process and planning. So the overall structure is the biggest thing that I want to see. The details internally, interior wise, you know, we're going to be at the table to talk about, to make sure we have what we need, and some capacity to still grow a little bit, right? Like, we don't want to lock ourselves in. Say, man, I wish we had that part back, you know, but.
How big is the cafeteria now?
How big is it?
Yeah. This one's 3,500 square feet. Is this one smaller or bigger than the current cafeteria?
It's probably a little smaller, I want to say, but I don't know. I guess we'd have to check.
It's something we
that.
can measure,
Yeah.
for sure. We have CAD files of both those
I
spaces.
mean, this is based on a number of, I don't know how many students we figured at one time, 200 or 220 or something like
Across
that.
4 lunch periods.
Yeah. We'll confirm that. I mean, there's other space we can push and pull if we needed to. Again, this is high level. Does it fit in the building? You know, what are the major things we have to address. Like there's a whole list of items that I'll pass this out in a second. And this is, we call this a work list. So the demolition, you know, like I mentioned, 95,000 square feet of building we're demolishing. There's a cost estimate for that. Replacing roofs like the old, or the gym roof, we're replacing the roof. There's windows we're replacing. You know, there's gonna be some masonry work throughout the building. You know, finishes, flooring, ceilings, lighting, all that stuff gets touched, you know, in the 1920s building and on this side as well. The gym bleachers I mentioned, but you know, we'll pull that off and use that somewhere else. Reconfiguring the old pool area, which we have to fill it in, then we have to build it out to accommodate all those items. We're gonna be fire suppressing the building too. You don't have a sprinkler system within here. Once we do these changes, we're really gonna need that, because there's some flexibility in the building code. Once we sprinkle, we can do some other things, you know, that allows us to have things open to a corridor and so forth, which is more collaborative and interactive for the students. You know, all the site work, all, you know, paving gets redone, concrete. We've got a few dollars for some landscaping or site restoration. A synthetic turf athletic field we have included. A few dollars to make some improvements to the athletic building out there by the field. New scoreboard, athletic field lighting. There's a request to put a site sign over on Gratiot, something larger that people could see where is the school. There's going to be some stormwater management things we have to do once we disturb the site. The county's going to force us to put stormwater detention. It's just every single job, so we have that. Some technology money for equipment, new kitchen equipment, culinary arts, kitchen equipment, furnishings. You know, we feel we have the scope covered in these dollars. The new entry addition building connector, you know, we have about a 5,000 square foot addition on the front, that little blue square that you've seen, which is the new high school office, main entrance for that, and so forth.
I think I heard you say something about an entrance off of Cass.
Yes, a driveway.
Talk to me about that, because that appears that could be very problematic, because there's no entrance off of Cass now, and when you come up and down here in the morning and the afternoon, it's like a parking lot. Mm-hmm. And to have people trying to turn right or left, or right and left on the Cass, is just gonna create a big traffic problem, I foresee. So talk to me about that.
Well, I mean, it's up to the district if you want it. It was requested, so we added some dollars to put it in. The road, yeah, go ahead.
Currently have an issue with the coming and going of the...
Yeah, that was just something that we explored, because it used to be a entryway right off of Cass here. It's still a sloped entry approach, yeah. Yeah, and so
currently
that's...
have the 3 classrooms over there that parents are coming and going.
Yeah, but this is further up this way. That's again, so here's my plan. I want to just get this out here as a framework and a template. We're going to have a steering committee that will come together, and you all and different people in the community will be a part of that. These are just possibilities, but the framework is the most important part. The size of the structures, the details, none of these are definitive or this is what we're doing. These are a lot of things that, some of the details that we've discussed that they've added. So some of these things will come and go, moved. So none of this is
Set in stone.
Yeah.
I asked it because he presented it as part of the frame.
Yeah. That's not
I know
a.
it's not set in stone.
Yeah.
but, you
Oh,
know,
I was just speaking to
put it out
that. Yeah.
there.
With everything that we're talking about, some of these
That's why I asked the
details,
question.
lockers, a lot of these things, none of those things have even been discussed. Some of these things were just brainstormed and conversations that we've had. It's in there. We'll have a steering committee that will be that will include you all, community members, and other people to really. I don't want to get to the point where the last bond was, people didn't know some of these things were happening. So before we get to a finalized plan of anything, everybody's going to know and be on the same page. So that's not it's not a hill that we're gonna die on with any of these things right now, so.
Yeah, and we're trying to give you like worst case scenario. Hey, we've got it in there. If we don't need it, great. We don't need to spend the money. Or there's a lot of other needs that aren't on here, right? I mean, we're trying to do the best we can with a target.
So basically, the framework is you're trying to present is reducing the footprint of the secondary complex.
100%. You're reducing the footprint and then providing an appropriate separation between the middle school and the high school. And then, you know, with that comes operational savings, which are long-term, energy improvements as well. You know, there's going to be some new roofing in a couple areas, windows, mechanical systems. You know, you're going to get a better performing building in the end. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll be a lot better than what you have now.
With the new updates, what is your allotment for full enrollment? Like, what is the number of the capacity of the secondary complex?
Well, that's a great question. I can't remember what it was, but
I think we discussed 1,200, like.
1,200, yeah. We have a program document. I don't have that.
I'll take that back. That's district-wide. Secondary, it might have been 2 more hundred. I can't remember. District-wide, I think we talked about 11 or 12.
400 for the middle school.
400 and, yeah.
6 or 7 for the high school.
Potentially.
There's plenty of capacity. We have, like on the 3rd level, you'll see there's plenty of rooms that we can grow into.
So I want to clarify something too. I think, and to your question earlier about the floors, it would be 2 floors for the high school over there.
Yes.
Right, not 3, because that first floor would be offices.
Right.
Yeah, so 2nd and 3rd floor. And then I see Mr. Johnson, our secondary principal, back there taking copious notes, right? That gives us some ideas of potentially what that could look like.
Yeah.
Even within the high school building with those floors, you know, what we could do. So just want to have as many possibilities as possible.
Well, that was my second question is, looking at this diagram, it nerves me to see the middle school have to walk really through the high school portion to get to all of the elective things and cafeteria and such. But are we saying then that there would be no classrooms on the main floor that the kids would have to walk, like the middle schools will have to walk through then?
Yeah, those would be offices. So they won't
Right.
interact with the high school kids.
Okay.
They walk there now to the gym.
Right, so the kitchen, culinary, cafeteria, band, all of those things would not have any high school, like the way the schedule would be strictly middle school will handle
At
it.
that time, ideally. So we navigate, that's a detail that's way out there when it comes to, from a scheduling perspective. The ideal, as much as possible, once we get whatever we get, the planning and the ideal is going to be to minimize as much interaction as possible. So if we can do it to where that space and that time is, you know, they're not even seeing high school kids, then great, you know, but we have proven that we can still coexist to some extent, but on a regular, all day, every day, mingle with the 2 different age groups. We want to minimize as much as possible.
And then would there be security doors then that go from like where the offices would be into that yellow area? Would there be a secure door that I guess would?
I think if you see where the orange section is, which is the planetarium, just kind of up and to the left of that, there's doors that are not going to allow people to go through unless they're credentialed or allowed to. They would be stopped at that set of doors. So if high schoolers wanted to get in the middle school, either through that bottom gray corridor or the upper gray corridor, they can't.
No, I'm talking about the yellow area.
You're right. Sorry, I'm getting in the weeds. If you come further down, I don't think we have them exactly where you're talking about putting them. I think we would probably want to put them, see where the entry point is, that big red arrow on an angle. We'd probably want to put them right in that hallway that goes down. Yeah, so that you can close that section off. Yeah, that would be a good idea. But to your point, if the middle schoolers are coming to the cafeteria, you want them to come through on the ground level because the second and third levels of the older building are high school.
Correct.
Bring them through that ground level so they're not passing through the high school classroom area, yeah. That would be optimal.
And then, I have two questions. Oh, no, I have one more question. So the bond itself would really only cover the secondary complex. There would be nothing needed for the elementary.
No, we also have that. We don't have a picture of it, but we do have about $6.7 million allocated for Seminole total. And we walked the building with Mr. Roper and the principal and kind of pinpointed all the necessary things. Roofing, we're going to restore the roofing that's there, extend its useful life. There's some glazing, exterior glazing in areas that need to be replaced. They're starting to fog up. The seals are busted or broken. There's some masonry work. There's new flooring in the classrooms and classroom pods. Restroom flooring in the classroom, restrooms. Some painting. New boilers, blower coil units and drinking fountains. The entire parking lot gets redone.
Yeah,
Technology
drop
equipment.
offs, walks,
Yeah.
the whole parking area. By the time we're done with the bond, that'll all be replaced.
Yeah, we didn't want to forget about this building, but yes, I guess we do have a graphic.
And we're still showing that there could be pickleball courts where the old tennis courts are. If that's an easy thing to pull out, but that was a request at one of the meetings in the previous month, so. But the work is really what Mike described, so.
Yeah.
And we've done some work there, kind of just finished last year. The more critical operational items were completed, so this is on top of that.
So like this scope is pared down slightly from what we proposed last time, because there was more dollars there, at least we thought. So we pared it down to do as much as we can at the secondary complex.
Is there a new elevator? Are we upgrading the elevator? What's going on with that?
We haven't determined that, but it would probably be upgraded in its current location.
Okay, so that wasn't factored into this cost?
Well, we have dollars per square foot to renovate is how these are estimated at this point, but there's not a line item here yet. We can easily do that with the gym bleacher cost that I had here that we don't need to spend there, so, yeah, it'll be addressed. And it could be built into the new addition that we're doing, I suppose. It's just how we connect it to the second level and the third level, really. So that's the overall scope. I can hand these out, Julian, if it's okay. This little detail of the costs and. Okay, we'll get them to you. That's fine.
So thank you. Again, this is a high-level view framework. I've heard the community after our first bond. We know the dollar amount was an issue for our taxpayers, so significantly wanted to put a plan together to address that, something that was, I guess, more realistic or feasible for the community, but also meets the needs and making sure that we are ensuring that our students and staff are coming to work in the best environment that they can possibly work in. And this is just one of those efforts. So I'll be coming back to the board and the community for your official approval to go ahead with going out for this new bond initiative. And then once we get that confirmed, then we'll start developing more steering committees and smaller groups and committees to come together to help the planning and get into the weeds of some of these things that we discussed. So those are our next steps. Thank you all, Partners in Architecture, for the work, and thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Moving on to action items. Under item 7, closed session for the purpose of negotiations.
I move we go into closed session for the purpose of negotiation updates.
Moved by Ms. Rickman to go into
Support.
closed session for the purpose of negotiations. Second by Ms. Hammond. Any questions or comments on the motion on the floor to go into closed session? Hearing and seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Rickman,
Yes.
Ms. Hammond,
Yes.
Mrs. Cahoon,
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes. The board goes into closed session at 7:11. I will
If we
entertain a
put up-
motion to come out of closed session.
Motion to come out of closed session.
Moved by Ms. Cahoon to come out of closed session. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Ms. Hammond. Any questions or comments on the motion to come out of closed session? Hearing and seeing none, please call the roll.
Mrs. Cahoon,
Yes.
Ms. Hammond,
Yes.
Mr. Rickman,
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes, the board comes out of closed session at 7:38. Moving on to item 8, consent agenda. 8A, approval of minutes. 8A1, June 17, 2026, public hearing. 8A2, June 17, 2026, regular meeting. 8A3, June 18th, special meeting. 8B, approval of bills for payment. 8B1, June bills for payment. I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Hammond,
Support.
support by Ms. Cahoon. Any questions or comments on the motion on the floor to approve the consent agenda as presented? Hearing and seeing none, please call the roll.
Ms. Hammond,
Yes.
Mrs. Cahoon,
Yes.
Mr. Rickman,
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes, motion passes. Moving on to item 9, human resources. 9C, new hires, Seminole Academy. 9C1, 5th grade teacher, SR. And 9.2, 4th grade teacher, MH. I will entertain a motion to approve the new hiring of the new hires, Seminole Academy.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Cahoon,
Support.
supported by Ms. Hammond. Is there any questions or comments on the motion on the floor to approve the new hires for Seminole Academy? Hearing and seeing none, please call the roll.
Mrs. Cahoon,
Yes.
Ms. Hammond,
Yes.
Mr. Rickman,
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes, motion passes. Moving on to item 9D.
Mr. President, I move that the board approve the teacher's proposed contract beginning July 1, 2026, expiring June 30th, 2029, as presented.
It was moved by Mr. Rickman to approve the proposed contract for the teachers union for July 2026 through June 30th, 2029. Is there a second?
Support.
Supported by Ms. Cahoon. Any questions or comments on the motion on the floor to approve? Hearing and seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Rickman,
Yes.
Mrs. Cahoon,
Yes.
Ms. Hammond,
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes, motion passes. Congratulations. Moving on to item 10, MASB, the Michigan Association of School Board, 10E, Annual Leadership Conference, 10E1, October 15th to 18th of 2026. I will entertain a motion to approve for members of the board to attend the Annual Leadership Conference on October 15th through October 18th of 2026.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Hammond,
Second.
second by Mr. Rickman. Is there any questions or comments on the floor regarding item 10?
Who is going?
I know that I will be going. Is there any other members who also are interested in going to the annual leadership conference?
This is just approving us to go. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to say who's going, right?
Oh, okay.
But I do know that if you would like to attend, just email Ms. L. She has the information regarding, because you can go all 3 days or individual days, as well as bigger classes as well. All paid for by the district. There's further discussion. Ms. L, please call the roll.
Mrs. Cahoon,
I think you have to do Ms. Hammond.
What?
She made the motion.
oh, I'm sorry, I apologize.
Or actually, Mr. Rick. Oh,
No, I second.
Ms. Hammond.
Okay,
And then
okay.
Mr. Rickman seconded.
Ms. Hammond,
Yes.
Mrs. Cahoon. I'm sorry, Mr. Rickman. Jesus.
I
I
love you.
apologize.
I love you. Mr. Rickman seconded.
Mr. Rickman.
Yes, again.
Okay. Mrs. Cahoon again. Mr. Shepherd,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
yes, the motion passes. Moving on to information items. The information items, we have item 11, Business Committee, 11A, financial reports. Any discussion or comments or questions on the financial reports? Hearing none. Move on to item 11B, contract listing. Any discussion or comments on the contract listing? Hearing none. Moving on to item 12, superintendent's comments. Mr. Roper.
Yep, thank you again. Good evening, everyone. And I just have a few things. First of all, I want to just give a shout out, and we'll do something a little more formally at a later date. And in talks now and planning that, you may be aware that we received, thanks to Senator Hertel, $150,000. Oh, Mr. Fingers dancing. He knows. We received $150 from the state of Michigan. $150,000. I say $150. He's gonna.
We'll take
We
that
found
too.
it on the
He's gonna
screen.
get some, get some pizza. We're gonna get some pizzas
We'll
with that.
take that too.
But he secured. His office has secured $150,000 for us to restore the ceiling in our historical auditorium here, and so. For a lot of our community, that's a big deal. Our district, we use it just for, this year we only used it for the high school graduation. We've had a lot of people in the community. My understanding is that it's the largest seating theater in Mount Clemens. And we, it's been important for us to bring that place back to life. And so the roof is fixed there. But the rain damage over the years, I guess 15 years or so, has been pretty bad, paint chipping. And so we are in the works to get that work started as soon as possible. And we just want to thank Senator Hertel and his office for making that happen for our Mount Clemens Community Schools. And again, we'll do something more formal at a later date. Next up, just last but not least, just congratulations to our teachers. I hope you all know that you are valued, and our future teachers, congratulations for those joining the team, that you're valued. We have a tough job in the work that we do, but we have some of the best teachers, I believe, that you can get around, that are committed, that are vested, that have been here even with our old contract, and we know what that was. And so it was from day one. If you've been in these meetings, I've been at this table with our board saying we have to take care of our people. We have to be competitive. We have to, and if we're going to retain and recruit teachers, this is what we have to do. And so it was my intention, and this board's intention, they supported me in that, in making sure that we can do something that's sustainable and make sure our teachers know that they're appreciated. As you all know, as always, that comes with big expectations too, right? And so we're already closing gaps and making progress. So continue to push, continue to do what you do. One thing I want to say I'm very proud of along these lines is, and Mr. Fringer, staff over there, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is my first year. This is the first time since I've been here that our elementary has had 0 turnovers in teachers. We haven't had anybody quit. We had 2 teachers retire. We've actually grown a grade. And so we had to expand to another 4th grade, the additional 4th grade this year, and that's why that's on there. So shout out to Mrs. McNeely, our leadership at Seminole, and the team over there, and Mr. Johnson. That's a shout out challenge to you for the future. I know you like those types of things, but I was very transparent in our negotiations. We were very transparent and open in conversation about we have to build the culture and work collaboratively to build that culture here at the secondary as well. Our elementary is really thriving. We have a ways to go in our secondary, and Mr. Fringer and the team and the union and the teachers are all supportive and behind whatever it is it's going to take to make sure the kids here are getting the best possible experience that they can get as well. So, again, Mr. Fringer and your team, the teacher, thank you all. It was, I think, I just think that conflict doesn't always have to be negative, right? Sometimes great things come out of conflict. Right, and I think a lot of times we run from them or we don't like them, but that's how we challenge ourselves, and that's how we get pushed. And so when we agreed or disagreed, ultimately it came back to what's best for kids and our staff, and that's what we settled on, and that's why it was easy for all of us. So again, thank you. I'm excited for our future. I am really hopeful that our teachers see the investment now, and I'm excited and hopeful for what the future is going to bring. So thank you to everyone. Looking forward to September already. I know the teachers, I can't wait to get back to work. Right? No? Okay, sorry. I want to kill the mood. I'm just playing. Again, though, last but not least, I want to thank this board because you just did it, right? You just approved what I believe, and I think from our research, Jen, is probably the most competitive, best contract that this district has probably ever had, their teachers has ever had. So shout out to this board for approving that. It's because of you. And I hope that this community knows that if they voted no, that wouldn't have happened. So thank you, board, because you made that decision and we just did the work. Those are my comments.
Any questions or comments for the superintendent? Hearing none, move on to board comments. Start with Mr. Shepherd.
Okay, just speaking for myself, in January of 2023 was my first board meeting. I was given from what I remember, a two-sided sheet of paper that said we were going out for a bond for $90 million. I had no details of it, partially my fault because I wasn't attending meetings like this, but as a community member, I usually don't attend school board meetings if I'm not an actual member of the board because I trust the people I elected. So when I was given this, I was basically supporting it blindly because I'm aware that Mount Clemens is the only district in Macomb County that has not passed a bond since 2002. The community was obviously sticker shocked about the 90 million, and then they'll turn it over and say, well, such and such district only asked for like 30 million or 40 million. But this was like the fourth time they've asked for 30 or 40 million. So I see it as an accumulation. But that being said, I would have preferred to be more involved in the process early on. We had the potential to have between 1 and 3 new school board members coming in 2027, and we'll already be well along in the process in that. So that being said, I would prefer this bond to be postponed until those board members get on board. That's just my opinion, and congratulations to the teachers. I consider myself a very teacher-friendly board member. Much like a bond, I'd pretty much support any contract. So it's good to tell you that now that it's approved. But basically, if it gets by Jennifer Doss, who I also trust, and Mr. Roper, I know that it's good by me. So I just basically consider myself a rubber stamp at that point. So no thanks really needed on my behalf. I'm glad you did thank Mr. Roper, Ms. Dawes, and everyone else on the team. And also thank you for sticking out with this district through some very hard times. And I see nothing but good times ahead. And those are my comments.
Thank you for your comments. Ms. Cahoon.
I'll keep mine short. Congrats congrats to all of you. Now go enjoy your summer, well, what's left of it. And Mr. Roper and faculty continue to do a good job. You know, just because the contract is approved doesn't mean you go laxy-daisy. You gotta, like you said, there's gotta be accountability, and we gotta see really good growth, because we don't want to go backwards. So my hope is that we can continue to see growth. I have to say I was disappointed in what I saw at the quarterlies. I thought we would have been in a better place with reading and math and many areas. I really want to see a better growth in the future. And as far as what Mr. Shepard said, if it doesn't get postponed, I think at least the board members, the new board members, have got to be briefed on the bond. It has to be a must, because coming in as a new board member and then within 5 months you're gonna be voting on a bond is unrealistic. So I am in agreement with Mr. Shepard that you at least brief the new board members. And those are my comments. Have a good rest of your summer, you guys.
Thank you, Ms. Cahoon. Ms. Hammond.
Thank you. I would also like to thank Senator Hertel, and congratulations on a successful union agreement and a reunion. And hope you enjoy the rest of your summer. That's all I have.
Thank you, Ms. Hammond. Mr. Rickman.
Thank you. At the citizens' comments, you heard Union President Fringers said this was his first rodeo, and you heard Superintendent Roper echoing it is his first rodeo at a contract, and wasn't my first rodeo. I've been through many of these rodeos, and sometime we had plenty of bucking broncos in the rodeo. But I'm glad to say and happy to say kudos to the bargaining members of the MEA, the district's bargaining team, included there our attorney, superintendent, financial director. I'm happy, ecstatic to say that we settled a contract that began July 1st, 2026 and expires June 30, 2029. And I was sitting here thinking over the many contract negotiations that I've been through, I think that this is the first time that we've come to a contractual agreement in advance of the upcoming school year. Hopefully, this means we won't have teachers that are leaving because they don't know what a contract is going to be like for next year, next 2 years, next 3 years. Hopefully, this shows good faith on the district's part and the board's part, and hopefully we're able to retain our teaching staff that we currently have on board. And with a 3-year contract in place, I think this is a good tool that we can use as we recruit teachers to come into this district. To all those involved in that process, I say congratulations and job well done. Here we are in the middle of July, and we've got people already talking about coming back to school. You know, let's enjoy the summer. You know? It's only 2 weeks long, but yeah, enjoy your time off. And I hope, you know, if you want to come back in August, great, come on back. But you got your contract, like Ms. Cahoon said. Go enjoy your summer. You know, we'll see you soon enough. So, but we thank you for attending, and thank you for all that you do for the students that we serve in the Mount Clemens Community School District. We couldn't do it without you, and so we appreciate that. There are 3 seats that are expiring this December. There are 3 seats available on this board, and you have to July the 21st to petition to run for the board. I heard from the audience in previous meetings and that people are looking for a change. Well, all those that say on social media that needs to be a change, here's your opportunity to be part of that change. Instead of talking on being keyboard pirates, step up, step out and try to help somebody, try to help the district, as opposed to sitting back and criticizing those people that sit here and volunteer their time to promote this district and try to do the best for the citizens and the students that attend the Mount Clemens Community School District. Those are my comments.
Thank you for your comments. I too would like to thank Senator Hertel and his office for working within the budget, working on both sides of the aisle, and giving us $150,000 to improve the large auditorium. It shows a great job by our representative in Lansing, bringing back dollars to our district, who, our parents pay taxes, and members in the community pay taxes, and come back to their child's district. I too would like to say congrats to our teachers and thank our district staff as well as their bargaining unit team and coming together for a new contract and for the district really making the effort to invest into our teachers. And we know, I would say that if I had the opportunity to pay you guys more, it would be 3, 4, 5 times the amount. Guess I did say that on camera, because you guys do a great job at what you do. In my time subbing, I know you guys do a great job. Also, just thank you to the superintendent and his team, and just get ready for the students to come back to school, because I know they'll be around the halls and calling your names all day. I would like to also thank the summer school teachers and Summer Discovery, who basically didn't have a summer off. Currently still don't have a summer off because they still have a few weeks. Yep. And the back to school bash is August 13th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the members to come out. I know we're still looking for volunteers as well for that, as well as volunteers for the second annual golf outing. So for September 11th, and if you'd like to volunteer or donate or sponsor, contact Kelly Metter. As well as come out August 15th to the 7th annual tournament from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Shadeside Park, where the tournament and their members will be giving out back-to-school supplies for the children, bounce houses, food. We were there last year. We probably plan to attend again. So just come out on August 15th. And I'm just ready for the school year to start and continue to support our teachers and staff. And that's all I have for my comments. Move on to item
Move to adjourn.
14. Moved by Mr. Rickman to adjourn. Second by Ms. Hammond. There's no discussion on that. Ms. L, please call the roll.
Yes.
Ms. Hammond? Mrs. Cahoon?
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, meeting is adjourned at 8:01.